welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's What's for Dinner video, we're going to be making a budget-friendly vegan chicken parmesan made with cauliflower wings. And for the ingredients, you're going to need some parmesan cheese, some spaghetti, some cauliflower wings, 2 bags here of the Bird's Eye branded ones. And we're not going to be using the buffalo style sauce that's in it. We're just going to be putting that off to the side and saving that for another meal. So the last thing you're going to need is your pasta sauce. So if you're ready, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to want to do is boil our noodles, so we're going to have to fill up our pot with water. And a big tip that I find to boil your water faster is to sit here, and you want to do it on hot water, not cold water. And I want to remove that first so you can make sure that it's hot water. You want to use, because the hotter the water, the faster the water is going to boil. So that's good there. Just going to wait for that to heat up. And we're going to be waiting for that to fill up here for our noodles. Our noodles, waiting for the water to... Okay, so I'll be back once the water is on the stove. Okay, the water is on the stove. Now we're just going to turn on the water. And now we're going to go get the cauliflower wings ready to be put in the microwave, because you don't need to do the oven temp directions. And I'll be back when we're ready to do that. Okay, I'm back. So the first thing we're going to want to do is open up our package of the cauliflower wings here. Like I said, you can see me do that. Raise this up a little so you can see that. So we're going to open up the cauliflower wings here. Open it up here. I'm going to dump it into the container here. It's enough for the microwave. You want to take your sauce, put it off to the side, because you're not going to need that. Going to put the other bag in here. That off to the side. Now you want to read your directions so you know how long to put it in your microwave. So depending on your microwave, it's going to take either between 4 and 5.5 minutes for one package. So it's going to take between 8 and 11. It take between 8 and 11 minutes depending on your microwave. So we're going to be putting it in my microwave, which is a 1200 watt microwave, so it's going to be closer to 8 minutes. So I'll be back once it's put in the microwave. Okay, I'm back, so now I'm going to set the timer for 8 minutes. I'm going to hit the start button. Now I'm going to see if the water is ready to boil yet. Nope, the water is not ready yet, so I'll be back once the water is boiled. Okay, as you can see, the water is now boiled. Boiling. Now we have to turn down the water, turn on the water temperature, so we're not sitting there having it overboil. And now you just want to add your spaghetti. And I'm using the Cremette brand, because what you saw my grocery haul that this was on sale. So I said, yes, I'm getting it because it's on sale. So I'm going to go ahead and cook the whole box here. So I plan on having leftovers. So I'm going to add the whole box in. And yes, you don't want to break up the noodles. You don't want to separate. You don't want to make the noodles go in half. Yeah. Okay. Get the noodles in there, because the noodles will eventually sink down inside the pot once they start getting soft. So I'll show you how that's done here. In case you've never done that before, I just push them down in here. And I'm one of these people that don't add salt to their noodles here. I don't like having extra salt because I'm on a lower sodium supposed to be on a lower sodium diet. I'm not always living up to that, but for the most part I do. So I don't need to add it. And you don't want to do that, adding the oil to it. It just makes it a greasy mess in the water. Unless it's a pasta that's really going to stick together. And this stuff is not going to stick like glue to each other. So you don't really need it. Maybe like a gluten-free pasta if you're going to use that. Then you'd want the oil so that it doesn't stick like glue. Yeah. But as you see, it's all pushed down. For the most, yes, it's all pushed down. So I'll be back once the noodles are starting to get more boiled here. Or in this case, I'll be back when... Okay, so maybe I won't be back because the cauliflower wings are almost done here. Here, and I want to show you those. So I'm getting those out of the oven here. When I out of the microwave oven over here, so we don't sit here and burn myself over here. I'm going to show me getting these out of the microwave oven over here. So if you see, I'll get you up so you can see this. Bring you up so you can see the microwave oven. And show you that, yes, it's almost done. And mine likes to slow down once you get it, so we're going to go take them out of the oven. I'm going to take these out. So I'm going to sit you down over here while I get these out of the oven. So I'll be back once they're out. Yes, we're back at the microwave again because I tested the temperature of those cauliflower wings and they're not quite warm enough. So I'm going to put them on for another 3 minutes. And then they should be fully heated. So I'll be back once those are heated up. I decided while we wait, I'll show you my technique on how to separate the noodles while I'm boiling them in the pot. I just bring them up and I separate the noodles. And I take the tip of the spoon because I don't have a pasta fork. So I just take the tip of the fork, or tip of the spoon here, and I just separate and push it down on top of the noodles to separate them. To keep them from being all stuck together. If you leave them sit there too long without moving them around, they'll end up like a big old pile of glued mess together, and you don't want that. And for the length on these things, which I didn't mention here earlier, for the cooking time, is what I'm looking for on the box here. Well, okay, 10 to 12 minutes. Well, that should be close with this. Taste one here. Nope, not done yet. So I'll be back when we're going to take out the cauliflower wings here. Okay, as you can see, I got the cauliflower wings out of the oven, out of the microwave oven, and now we're going to go check on the noodles over here. So I'm going to take you over there and we're going to check on the noodles. Over here, we're going to check on the noodles. Over here. And the noodles over here. They should be about done here. Ay, ay, ay. That's one noodle here. And I taste this noodle here. Almost, it's a little chewy. Well, I'll be back once we're ready to drain the noodles. Okay, I'm back, and now we're gonna go test these noodles one more time. And I'm pretty sure they're done. Yeah, it definitely looks done to me. So we'll test it. Yep, the noodles are done, so let me get you over here and move you over so I can get it to where we can go dump the noodles. So I'm going to go move you over here to where we can go dump the noodles. Over here. I'm going to put you down here, so dump the noodles in there. Turn off the, yeah, we definitely need to turn off the oven, the stove over here, I mean. I'm going to go dump the noodles over here. And yes, this is extremely hot. Extremely, extremely hot. Dump the noodles. And you don't want to rinse your noodles because you want it to stay hot. So we're going to move it over here. Here. So I'm going to shake off the excess water from the noodles. Steaming up my glasses. Yeah, I can barely see there for a second. I'm going to dump the noodles back in here. Okay. So now you want to add your cauliflower wings into the bowl over here. Into the pot over here, I mean. Dump the cauliflower wings into the pot. And grab your spoon that you use to cook the noodles with. Then you want to go get your favorite pasta sauce. There's no need to heat up your pasta sauce because if you do, if you want to, you can, but you don't have to because once you do it, since everything's completely hot, it'll make it room temperature. Make it temperature enough. I mean, temperature enough for you to eat. And I'll be back once I can get this jar open. Okay, that jar was a pain in the butt to open. Now I'm ready to dump the jar into it. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Dump your jar in there, make sure to get everything in there. Now you want to just mix it up. And make sure every noodle and every piece of the cauliflower is covered in the sauce. You see here, you don't want your noodles to look like that. No. You want it to be completely covered. But you don't want a ton of sauce on it. Well, lost the cauliflower. If you want a little bit more sauce, you can get a little extra jar, which I do want a little bit more sauce. Get another jar over here. I want a little bit more sauce. A little bit more sauce. That should do it. It's a little dry for me. A little dry in the sauce. And you don't want a ton of sauce, but you don't want it to be dry either. Okay, so that's good. So now we're gonna plate it. Grab a plate over here, put it on the plate. I got the Parmesan cheese over here, which you're gonna need here. Parmesan cheese. I'm setting it off to the side here. Let me make sure that Parmesan cheese is actually fully opened over here. Nope. Okay, the Parmesan cheese is open. You can put as many cauliflower wings as you want on your plate. Put as much noodles as you like. Oh well. Okay, so I'm going to put the cauliflower wings in there. A little bit more, if I like. Okay. Get a little bit more cauliflower on top. So we can get the cauliflower on top, then use one more little cauliflower. Cauliflower here. One more little cauliflower here on top, so there. That's what it's going to look like. I'm going to get you down so you can see it a little bit better. As they put the Parmesan on the plate. Move it back a little so you can see it. Put the Parmesan. You don't want a ton of Parmesan, you just want to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan on top. Okay, put as much Parmesan as you like. I like a little bit more. Okay. So I'll be back when I'm ready for the taste test. And sorry I was a little off camera when I was putting it on the plate. I didn't realize it. But anyway, I'll be back when I'm ready to do the taste test. Okay, I'm back for the taste test. There's the little cauliflower wing, a little bit of the noodles over here. A little bit of parm on it. Yes, sir. Well, if I can get it to stay on the fork. But here it is on the fork. What it look like? Taste it. It tastes exactly like chicken parmesan, 100%. Like if you didn't know that was cauliflower, you would think it was chicken. That's how good it is. And if you would like, you can always heat up your sauce if you really want to in a saucepan. I'm not saying it's necessary, but if you aren't gonna have it be super hot and let it sit for a little bit, I would definitely say heat up your sauce. Because I normally don't heat up my sauce because I eat immediately right after I put it together. And I don't want to be sitting around waiting for it to get to room temp to get it to where I can eat at temperature. So, but anyway, if you like this recipe, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to press that notification bell so you know when our next video is coming out. Thanks for watching.